And welcome everyone. Yes, it is. Welcome everyone to the stream. My name is Aiden, and I was just setting up for the launch today. Well known as that Space Dutch guy or Genius Gaming. This morning we had a successful launch of India's. I've got the name. Something. Let me look it up and see. Of the Aditya L1 mission, which successfully deployed 1 hour after mission. We've also live streamed that just a few hours prior. Just a few hours ago. This launch is from the Falcon 9 here in Vandenberg, and we got 2 cameras set up for this mission, not from me, but from my friend. And I just got a fast question already. Is this a recoverable mission? Well, if you look at it, it should answer your question already. Let's just look at how the launch should go. So we're gonna have liftoff, hopefully, because the last 2 attempts were a failed scrub. So we're gonna have liftoff of the Falcon 9. Which is gonna be. Oh yeah, he was live also. Shout out to him. He was live. So we have Falcon 9 liftoff, of course, hopefully. If it doesn't get scrubbed again, because I don't want that. I don't think anyone does. And then we're gonna have Miko, main engine cutoff, and that's stage separation. So the booster will do a boost back burn while the second stage ignites its engine. Can we go back to the booster, because I want to see the God damn it. Just seconds. Need to get it on the view. That's the booster. It's gonna do a boost back burn for about 1 minute or so. After that boost back burn, the booster will flip. Let's see that again. With its grid fins, because the grid fins are gonna deploy. Can you say the name of the website you were using? I forgot the name. Flight Club IO is the name. Flight Club IO. So the booster will do a flip and will go back landing on the Earth's surface for entry burn. This is what we're gonna use for the coast phase and all that stuff, because we're gonna be live for the entire mission. Not like India, because we were just live for launch and separation and all that stuff. But this is Falcon 9. This is different. And yes, here answers your question, sir. It is going to be recoverable, because it is going to do a landing burn. And as you can see, it is going to do a land landing. How cool is that? A land landing, but it crashed here. That was not correct. It should not crash here. Is this a futuristic... This is sus. Anyway, that's gonna be the mission profile for today. And this is also what we're gonna see for the liftoff just happening shortly. Let me just reset it back. Just resetting it back again. There you go. Cool, back to launch. Yeah, for sure, man. That is indeed pretty cool. The sun has already rised, I think. It's been a bit, so it should be rised already. Doesn't seem like here, maybe a little glitch there. But what we've seen on the live stream, it is fully up. Let's see what is up with the other camera that is controlled for this launch. Because the one we've seen before is just a standing cam, which means it's not going to move for the launch today. Just looking into if we can. It's lost signal on both of the cams. 2 seconds. I am back. Yes, we have a tracking cam on side and it should be clear right now. Here is live views from Vandenberg. Got a little filter on, I think. Shouldn't be a problem. Let me make sure that is... There it is. We are now live for the Vandenberg launch in about 49 minutes confirmed. Looks like everything is go for liftoff today. No reports on holding or scrubbing or anything right now. So no concerns for now. Let's go. Yeah, for sure, let's go. I will not be commentating when lift. Well, I will be depends. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be quiet a little bit when the launch happens. So I will be muted for launch. I'll be there around 1 minute after launch. Anyway, we are about 48 minutes to launch. Fog is gone for now. That is moving towards the other camera, which is now completely gray. Oops. Was not planned. But the camera's fine. Don't worry about it. So planned liftoff time for let's see, 14:25 UTC time. So it's an instantaneous launch window. So if there is any hold on the countdown net, they will scrub immediately. So let's make sure that doesn't happen today. Right now I have the SpaceX countdown net on, so if we hear any calls, we will be quiet and listen to them. Anyway, for now, let's see what's gonna happen today. So I just showed you already, but let me just explain it in words for now, because I don't want to turn on everything again. So let me open SpaceX real quick. Let's just do that, so I can explain better, so I don't have to think. Have you tried KSP? What do you mean with KSP? Like animation next to it? I don't think that's smart if you mean it like that, because I've watched your past streams and you've used KSP next to your, like, when India launches, there was like an animation KSP thing next to it. So for today's Falcon 9 launch, shoot, that's the wrong one. For today's Falcon 9 launch, the Falcon 9 first stage booster supporting this mission previously launched Sentinel-6, DART, Transporter 7, Iridium OneWeb, and 8 Starlink missions. So landing zone 4 is the place where it will land. Yeah, I know what you mean. Kerbal Space Program, yes. So I will now tell you about the countdown sequence, the minus and plus. So at T-minus 38 minutes, the SpaceX launch director verifies go for propellant. We will hear that on the countdown net, like before, yesterday, where there was a scrub around 20 minutes before the launch. Then after, at 35 minutes, RP1 load and
Rock,
first.
this is LD on countdown net.
This is Rock.
Rock, can you verify the range is ready?
Rock verified, range is ready.
Thank you.
We've just heard a call out that the range is ready. Let me continue explaining. So at 35 minutes, RP1 load and first stage locks loading begins. Then at 16 minutes, we go a bit further. We have second stage locks load. At T-minus 7 minutes, we're going to have engine chill prior to launch. At T-minus 1 minute, the startup, so the command flight computers will begin pre-launch checks. And then the propellant tank is pressurized to flight pressure. Then we're going to have 45 seconds. I don't know if they still do that. But if they do, SpaceX launch director verifies go for launch. And that's, we count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift off. I won't say that T-minus 3 seconds, because that's a bit boring. And 1:12, so 1 minute 12, we're gonna have max Q. That means that it's the peak, so the engine is at the peak performance. And then at 2 minutes 18 seconds, we're gonna have MECO, which follows up to first stage and second stage. Like, first stage separates from the second stage, and then the second stage starts igniting, which means also the boost back burn will start, or it wouldn't. So boost back burn. Let me explain what a boost back burn is. So when you land on a landing zone, they have a boost back burn to go back the other direction. Because if you don't, you will land on C / maybe if they set up a drone ship, they will land on the drone ship. Which also means they have less for us to do a landing burn and entry burn. Then the first stage entry burn starts, which will be completed shortly after, and then we're gonna have first stage landing.
This is LD on Countdown Net. The propellant loading poll has been completed, and we are go for propellant loading. In the need for an urgent abort, operator shall call hold on the primary Countdown Net. Launch control will abort the auto sequence immediately, and operator shall proceed to the launch abort steps in Procedure 1. Otherwise, brief the CE or LD for the non-urgent no-go conditions, and they will approve aborting the auto sequence.
There we got the instructions for hold call. And they go for propellant loading. This means that we won't see it pretty much. We will only see the second stage go into locks. 'Cause you don't see the first stage, but when it launches, it will appear. Anyway, it's gonna be exciting. I will head out for a little moment. We will be back at T-minus 35 minutes. We will be quiet, so you won't hear anything. It will be a bit quiet, so anything or anyone says anything. So we will be back at T-minus 35 minutes. I'll see you then. That's true. Oops, I forgot to put the mission name on the countdown timer.
Launch auto sequence has started.
Welcome everybody to launch coverage once again. Don't know if he's still here, but welcome back to the launch live webcast, broadcast, how you want to call it. So we've just heard good news that the launch auto sequence has started, which will be another step through launch. So flight computers are on auto, and we are looking good for today. If there's a hold, the people will say, "Oh, you were here, nice." The people will call hold. We don't know the reason of the abort from yesterday and the day before, so we don't really have any idea what happened the last 2 days. There was expected to be rain this morning, but it appeared to not be there. Reminder: the cameras are not from SpaceX itself; they are from the people. I know, and we exactly know. Well, you don't know, but I know. Identity. So anyway. We are looking good for today's liftoff. Once again, today's liftoff is at 14:25 UTC. So that's in about 33 minutes and 48 seconds from now. Sorry for the delay on the stream. On this stream, it's a bit boring, but it's not really a delay. It's fine, So. I don't see any really updates, which is pretty weird because normally we see. Oh, yep, we have our information 35 seconds ago. Immediately response on the Twitter. Propellant load is underway. All systems are looking good, and despite the fog, which is not really there, but it will be there in 10 minutes. Now, guys. I have great news and bad news. There will be fog in 10 minutes, so... No! But you won't see it from this cam, so you have to switch to the other cam. It's like... For this cam, it's on the left. Oh, shoot. And now he heard that on the stream, so I was gonna disable the cam because there's no need for that cam. Let's just go to the SpaceX noob control. The thing from SpaceX itself. So propellant load is underway. Our systems are looking good. Weather is 90% favorable for this morning's Falcon 9 launch. Despite the fog coming in 10 minutes, which is very annoying. But we are still here for the launch today, so it's coming again. No! So we're gonna have the closest cam to the launch site, which is gonna be the other cam we saw in the beginning of the live stream. So pretty annoying that there's gonna be fog, but doesn't matter. So despite the fog coming, it's still go. So we're not gonna see pretty much anything, but It's don't worry about it. We are 31 minutes into flying. Everything can change. And for sure for this flight happening in about 31 minutes. Sun rising pictures are nice and amazing and something like beautiful. And if you have anything to say or ask or do or want, 'cause we have 31 minutes left. We can do anything. Pretty much. Without OBS crashing then, of course. Because if OBS crashes, well, this live stream is not existence. Reminder, this is not SpaceX or any other cams. These are my friends' cams. Shout out to them. Oh, we are 30 minutes and 38 seconds. Wow. till the launch. Let's see. You know? We will get announcements shortly, possibly. We don't know if we will get announcements. But possibly, you know. I'm looking through SpaceX Twitter. And no new message except the one that was sent 3 minutes ago. None of these two. None of these two star. That's my question. Oh my god, the first subscriber, like, on Twitter from SpaceX is just the owner, Elon Musk. He's giving himself money. Congratulations. The one from earlier. Well, that's one of the two that's not from TC or it's from what was his name again? Shit. Oh, mic is being turned. Oh god. Well, what you're seeing right now is the SpaceX stupid. What is this? A wide shot of? Huh? Is this a wide shot of something that looks like a Falcon 9 but 10 times larger in size? That isn't pretty much anything good. The SpaceX known oopsie. This is the SpaceX known oopsie that they have. Anyway, we are 28 minutes till the liftoff of the Falcon 9 rocket from Vandenberg. Maybe you'll read a description and you will understand why and how. Well, how? It's just from them. Oh yeah, launches at 14:25 UTC. So it's going to be a very exciting mission today. This is not your typical Starlink as well. This is a Space Development Agency's second Tranche 0 mission. The first one was about 4 months ago. So we're just looking into it. Yep. The first was about little over 4 months ago now.
The Federal Aviation Administration for licensing support. And a great view.
I prefer you watch SpaceX after liftoff because we're not gonna have much. I'm looking for those live webcasts coming up in a few minutes. Searching. So just again, we are T minus 23 minutes and 21 seconds till the liftoff of the Falcon 9 from Vandenberg Air Force Base, Space Force Base. All systems are go for launch, despite the fog, which is now already on. And the one cam is disabled because it's too far away to see. So we only have one cam for then. Which will be available any moment now. I think someone else is tracking that one. I don't know if someone is tracking that one. I think so, yeah. Let me text him. See if he's tracking that one. Are you tracking? This is someone else, not the one. Those are different people. Like, we have two people on site right now. From me. Are you tracking that closest camera on site? Let me ask him. Okay, I just asked him. Oh, he popped online. Oh, he said yes. He said yes. Okay, so we have good news. That's gonna be hard though. Wait, I know already. So the two people. Wait. Enable the other cam, cause you're on top. So you will be able to track. Okay, I just send him that. Let's see what the response is. Oh, response? I had my phone off, so I didn't even... That's why it gives the alarm if your phone is off.
Stage 2 fuel load's complete.
Stage 2 fuel load is complete, so that means we are go for propeller load on second stage. Oh, yep, he's doing it. Okay. Alright. We have a third one now. Okay. Well, that is cool. I didn't expect that. So we're gonna have a few cameras on site. Remember, launch is in T-minus 20 minutes, and the mission today is not your typical Starlink, but will end after landing. The SpaceX broadcast will end just after landing. We will still be live for if it's a payload separation, which we don't know. Your T-minus 18 minutes and counting. 19 minutes, I'm sorry. I said it wrong. I thought it was around 15 minutes till the liftoff, but it isn't. So I'll be quiet for now. We will be back just about well, not actually. Sorry, I will never be back, but for real this time. I will be going. Enjoy the mission, everyone. Launch countdown is on for this mission. And I'll see you guys later. Maybe soon. So stream will stay on. Don't go, please don't go, because we will stay on for this entire launch. Launch has not even begun yet, so we will stay live. But I will stop my own commentary and we'll listen to the countdown net coming up. So I'll see you. I'm right now on my seat. SpaceX is starting his broadcast. We will not be showing that. Maybe we will. Should I just do it? I think I will do it. Sorry, SpaceX. For once. Okay. I'll do it. No, I don't. I'll just let it on countdown. Who cares? Let's continue. Yeah, that song is just iconic. It may seem foggy here, but on the SpaceX coverage, it's completely clear. So wonder. No, I don't know if it's a wonder. Should not be a wonder, cause it's foggy here, but it's not foggy on the launch site. So that's where we're gonna switch to the other cam, which is not foggy, but still, that cam isn't still enabled, and I'm still mad about it. Oh, reasons.
Through that issue during the countdown, but ultimately decided to stand down for the day to take a closer look. Similarly, during yesterday's launch attempt, a valve on the ground support equipment was behaving out of family. After completing checkouts yesterday and verifying the vehicle and ground support equipment is healthy, we're back into the count and not tracking any blockers to launch at this point.
Let's just listen to the countdown.
As mentioned, today's mission is for our customer SDA in support of their overall constellation called the Proliferated Warfighter Space Architecture, or
Also, I'll be really quiet from now, so the last 10 minutes before launch, I'll shut up and enjoy the count.
PWSA's tracking layer, which will provide global indications, warning, tracking, and targeting of advanced missile threats, including hypersonic missile systems. The SDA prioritizes speed by leveraging commercial advances and delivering capabilities on 2-year timelines, with the goal of quickly delivering space-based capabilities to support terrestrial missions through development, fielding, and operation of the PWSA. The payloads on board will allow combatant commands to start to develop their exercise and operational plans around access to data that they can expect to receive from future tranches of their constellation. At just around the T-minus 9-minute mark, the range is ready to support, and weather is currently 90% favorable for launch. The vehicle and payload are in good health and tracking towards a T0 of 7:25 a.m. Pacific time. Now, it's also worth mentioning, at the request of our customer, we will not be sharing any views from the second stage today, and will therefore end the webcast at around the T+8-minute mark, just after Falcon 9 touches back down onto land. Located at the very top of Falcon 9 on your screen, we have the payload fairing, and it measures about 40 feet in length and 17 feet in diameter. Now, to put that size into perspective, an average fire truck is about 40 feet long and 12 feet wide, so a fire truck would fit comfortably inside our payload fairing. Now, while on Earth, the fairing's primary job is to protect the payload from contamination, and then at liftoff and through ascent, the fairing will also shield against aerothermal loads and heating. Once we reach the vacuum of space, we will jettison the fairing, and the second stage will continue on its journey to orbit, carrying the payload. The fairing halves supporting today's mission are both flight-proven, with one half flying for its 5th time and the other flying for its 8th. Below the payload fairing is the second stage, which is responsible for propelling the payload to its drop-off orbit in space. Now, not only does SpaceX's second stage look similar to the first stage, which is the larger stage below, it also has the same diameter, uses the same metal in the tanks, same computers, same propellant, and nearly the same engine. And this allows us to use similar tooling, design, and systems, which results in greater efficiency and reliability. The first and second stages are connected by the black inner stage, which houses the pneumatic pushers that allow stage separation during flight. The inner stage also houses the second stage engine, called the Merlin vacuum engine, or MVAC engine. Moving down the rocket, the bottom 2/3 of the vehicle is the first stage and is the primary part of the rocket that gets reused multiple times. At the very bottom, orbit in space. And nearly the same engine. Inner stage, which houses the pneumatic pushers that allow stage separation during flight. The inner stage also houses the second stage engine, called the Merlin vacuum engine, or MVAC engine. Moving down the rocket, the bottom 2/3 of the vehicle is the first stage and is the primary part of the rocket that gets reused multiple times. At the very bottom of the first stage are 9 Merlin M1D engines that accelerate the vehicle through the Earth's atmosphere and help it land back on Earth following stage separation. The first stage supporting today's mission is flying for its 13th time today and will be attempting to recover the booster back on land at Landing Zone 4 at Vandenberg. And if successful, this will mark our 222nd overall successful recovery of an orbital-class rocket, including both Falcon 9 and Heavy first-stage landings. If you're not too familiar with what getting to orbit actually means, in order to get the rocket and our payload into orbit, the rocket has to not only go up really fast, it also has to go sideways. As we ascend, we tilt the engines, the technical term for that being gimbling, and that turns the rocket horizontally. We're still going up, but now we are also heading horizontally away from the launch pad, and this is what we call a gravity turn. The rocket typically needs to go 17,500 miles per hour horizontally in order to avoid being pulled back down to Earth and get into orbit. And to help demonstrate this concept, imagine firing a cannon from a really high mountain. The cannonball will arc, and then gravity will pull it down to Earth. As you increase the power, the cannonball will arc and land farther and farther away. Eventually, if you could continue to increase the power, the cannonball will be going so fast that it ends up in free fall around the Earth. Gravity is still pulling down on the cannonball, but it's going so fast it never actually hits the ground. And this arc, which constantly misses the Earth, is called an orbit. So when we get to liftoff, at which point we begin that shift in orientation so that Falcon 9 can go sideways really fast. Be sure to keep an eye out for this in just a few minutes. However, if for some reason we're not able to launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow at the same time. Coming up next, the truss structure next to the vehicle, known as the transporter erector, or TE, will start to retract. The transporter erector is used for rollout and to route propellants and electrical power to the vehicle in preparation for launch. And in preparation for retraction, the TE clamps will open. Those clamps are located just below the payload fairing. The transporter erector will then pull away from the rocket slightly, and then at T0, hydraulics pull the transporter erector even further away from Falcon 9 as it lifts off. and we should see those clamp arms beginning to open just below the payload fairing in about 10 seconds from now.
Strong back, retract. You will not see that from here. So, once again, fog is in the cam, but not on the launch pad. Maybe you can see from the further shots.
And there you can see those clamp arms opening just below the payload fairing. At this point in the countdown, both the first and second stages are nearly fully loaded with 1 million pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen or LOX.
Let me update the countdown.
You may have all first stage finishes up at the T-3 minute mark and the second stage at T-2 minutes. At T-minus 60 seconds, Falcon 9 will be in startup, and this means that the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers will have taken over the launch countdown. And just inside of T-minus 2 seconds, we light the Merlin 1D engines, and then we're set for liftoff.
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
There we go. I've updated the countdown. Ready for launch.
Pogo.
And there you heard that call out that Stage 1 LOX loading is complete. The SDA Tranche 0 payload continues to be healthy, and the Falcon 9 team is currently tracking no issues on the rocket, so let's continue to listen in to the terminal count. In just a few moments, we should hear that call out that Stage 2 LOX loading is complete on the vehicle.
Stage 2 LOX load complete.
And there's that call out that Stage 2 LOX loading is complete. Coming up at the T-minus 1 minute mark, Falcon 9 will be in startup, and this means that the vehicle's flight computers have taken over in preparation for launch.
Vehicle gas closeouts. Falcon 9 is in startup.
And there's that call out that Falcon 9 is in startup. Next will be the final go given by the launch director.
I'll shoot to the other cam at liftoff, guys. I'll shoot to the other cam at liftoff, because I just saw...
LD is go for launch.
Yeah, that's much better.
At T-minus 40 seconds, all systems are go for launch of Falcon 9 and the Space Development Agency's second Tranche 0 mission. So let's sit back and watch as Falcon 9 heads into space.
Oh, what is happening to the camera?
30
Go back.
seconds.
Go back. Good job. Good boy. Okay, here we go. T-minus 20 seconds till liftoff of Falcon 9.
Tank press for
15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Engines full power. And liftoff of Space Development Agency 0E. Go Falcon, go SDA.
Stage 1 propulsion is normal. Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Woo! Successful liftoff from Falcon 9 so far. Wow, that looks beautiful.
We're now T plus 40 seconds into the Space Development Agency's second Tranche 0 mission.
Stage.
Next 30 seconds or so, and max Q is the point at which the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of that call out for max Q, and everything is looking good with the rocket's trajectory so far. Now we have 5 events coming up in rather quick succession, and these are MECO, stage separation, stage 1 flip, SES1, and then the boost back burn. MECO, also known as main engine cutoff, is when we shut down all 9 Merlin 1D engines on the first stage. Stage separation is when the first and second stages separate from one another, and this is followed by stage separation when the first stage will flip over and conduct a boost back burn to fly back towards land. SES1, or second engine start 1, is when we ignite the single Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage. Now, as a reminder, we won't be showing any views of our second stage today at the request of our customer.
We are angry about that, aren't we?
We should be seeing MECO in just about 15 seconds from now.
Oh, let me get it. Oh my god, I'm so stressed out.
Did you mute the YouTube?
No.
I closed it.
Oh, because I want to hear.
Why isn't the camera? Oh, we have stage separation confirmed from this view.
And MECO.
MECO confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
We have stage separation. We'll get the view from the other cam right there. I know you can.
And then back startup.
You cannot hear me properly.
Stage 1 boost back startup.
Amazing.
And there you heard and maybe even saw those events that happened back to back, including MECO, or main engine cutoff, stage separation, stage 1 flip, SES1, and second engine start 1, and the start of our boost back burn. At the moment,
Oh, you
the
gotta
boost back
look at
burn
that
is in
boost back.
progress and will last for another 15 seconds or so.
Look at that boost back right there, right now.
And while that burn is in progress, we are expecting to hear the call out for fairing separation. And as a reminder, at the request of our customer, we won't be broadcasting fairing separation, but we should still have audio confirmation of it.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there's that call out confirming fairing separation.
Let's focus on the booster on this.
Coming up in just a few moments, we should have the completion of the boost back burn on the first stage.
Fairing separation, as we know, we won't see that live. Let's go back to the booster.
Stage 1 boost back shutdown.
And with the boost back burn done, our first stage is now headed back to Earth and will be attempting its land landing in just a few minutes. One of the nice things about land landings is we're not subject to ocean weather, and it's pretty convenient to land the first stage right next to where it lifted off. However, our ability to execute a land landing is really dependent upon the customer's
Both
needs.
vehicles are following a nominal trajectory.
Their mission trajectory and performance needed by the satellite determines if we can return to land. In order to complete today's land landing, the first stage has 2 more burns left. Next up is the entry burn, which will help to slow the stage down as it re-enters the upper part of the Earth's atmosphere. If you're just joining us, we just had successful liftoff of Falcon 9 and the Space Development Agency's second Tranche 0 mission. As the mission name suggests, today's customer is the SDA, or Space Development Agency. After an on-time liftoff, we had successful main engine cutoff, stage separation, stage 1 flip, second engine start 1, boost back burn, and fairing separation from the second stage. We're now coming up on the second burn on our first stage today, the entry burn, which should start in just over a minute from now.
So we are looking at SpaceX's feed from the mission control audio here. Well, the first stage is returning to Earth. We have the second stage, which doesn't show fairing separation because this is not a that mission. But we'll look into that later. As we see right now, we have this.
You're currently seeing live views of our Falcon 9 first stage as it descends back to Earth, and from time to time some of these views may show the hypersonic grid fins. Not currently on your screen. These hypersonic grid fins help steer the vehicle during descent as we re-enter Earth's atmosphere.
Baja, Mexico.
Baja, Mexico. Okay. That sounds good.
And there you can now see those grid fins. Coming up in just a few moments, we should have the Stage 1 entry burn startup.
Both stages continue to follow a nominal trajectory.
Yep, like that. Systems are looking nominal. I'm right now focusing on the 2 cameras I see, but they are inactive right now. I think, yeah, we're not gonna see landing on these. Okay. Entry burn has started. We can see that on the view right here.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
And there's that call out for the Stage 1 entry burn startup, where we light engines at the bottom of the Falcon 9 first stage as it descends back to Earth. And this burn will last just a few moments.
Like now.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Okay, we have confirmed.
And there's
Stage 1 FTS has saved.
And there's that confirmation of Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
You'll not hear me quite well, but that's fine. So we just had a successful.
As a reminder, we'll be ending our webcast after Falcon 9 lands, and we won't be sharing any views from our second stage at the request of our customer.
Yeah, pretty short entry burn.
Coming up in in just a few moments from now, we should have the landing burn startup on the Falcon 9 first stage.
They are off. Why are they off? They're on. The on-site camera is off for some reason.
Stage 1 transonic.
Bro, why are they off? Turn them back on. I mean. Oh my god, do you know how annoying that is? They won't turn it back on.
Stage 1 landing burn.
I'm too late.
And there's
Yep,
that confirmation
too late.
of landing burn start. This burn should last just around 15 seconds or so.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
God damn it. We do have a successful landing. That's.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Are you kidding
And there
me?
you have confirmation
I think
of landing of our Falcon 9 vehicle. This was the 13th launch and landing of this booster and our 222nd overall successful recovery of an orbital class rocket, including both Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy first stage landings.
They turned it off for no
As we
reason.
mentioned earlier, at the request of our customer, we are concluding our webcast coverage early today. We want to thank the Space Development Agency for entrusting us with today's launch, and a special thanks to the Range and the Federal Aviation Administration for licensing support. With today's launch, this marks SpaceX's 61st launch of 2023, matching last year's annual record with still 4 months to go before the end of this year. Congrats to the SpaceX and Falcon teams for this record-breaking year. And if you're looking for some added excitement this weekend, please tune in for our next Starlink launch set to lift off from Pad 39A in Florida at 7:50 p.m. Eastern Sunday evening. The SpaceX and NASA teams are also looking to bring home the Crew 6 astronauts after a 6-month stay at the International Space Station, just as soon as weather is favorable. We'll bring you live coverage of their departure from the orbiting laboratory, as well as their return to Earth when they splash down off the coast of Florida. And as always, our team is making progress with Starship down in Texas, getting ready for our second flight test of a fully integrated Starship. Be sure to keep an eye on x.com/SpaceX for updates. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.
And we're gonna conclude after the SECO has begun, because this is gonna conclude their coverage. Our coverage is gonna conclude also. I don't know why they turned their cameras off. I think it was just for safety. I don't know. Safety? What am I saying though? So we're gonna have SECO confirmed, and it's now going to go into coast phase and then into payload separation. But we're not gonna see that or hear anything about that. But indeed, for now, we're going to let's just stay here and see. You know what? We're gonna stay here till they end their coverage. I know that's gonna take ages, but I mean, come on. You cannot just end your coverage, you know. So we just had a successful booster landing. I cannot show on site, sadly, for no reason. Still made dumb. Just kidding. I don't know what's happening. So what we're gonna have a Crew 6 on dock. I don't know when that is. I think tomorrow. We will be live for that event, of course, so we will see you then tomorrow. For now, we will stay live to count the mission control audio from the countdown. This one ends. So if that ends, we're gonna end too. So for now, we are in the coast phase. Nothing will happen right now, I think. So it's just a rest period for now. I'm just looking into stuff, seeing what's. Wil je verder kijken? Ja, doe maar. Ziet er ook echt goed uit. So we're going in the coast phase right now till they're gonna end. Okay, they already ended. But then we're not gonna have the coast phase, you know. So this is. Well, let's just stay here and see what's gonna happen. We'll just hear payload deployment confirmation somehow. We'll somehow hear it. So for now, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. So, see you then. 5 minutes. It's nothing. Shoot. I had the wrong music there. How do you turn that thing off? Close it, close it, close it. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna end the stream because this is gonna get more glitchier as we talk. So we just had a successful booster landing. So that was fun. That's gonna conclude it for now. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching the stream today. We will see you at the next launch. Will be from Series 1S. And the next event, so that's not a launch, but just an event, will be the Crew 6 on docking tomorrow. So we will be live then. I will plan the live stream then. But for now, I will see you then next. So that's. See you next time, everyone.